right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. You are still tuned in to Funtastic Fridays. We are here with you every single Friday from 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. And persons on the live with no son just get, what if I'm flicking and all these things just happened a while ago. It is a technical difficulty. The phone just did drop, guys. It just did drop, but don't worry, we're still here with you. We're still here live, and we are setting the phone back up so you guys can join in on this discussion. As usual, I love you guys' feedback. I love any questions that you might want to ask. I love your point of view. So if it is that you agree, disagree, your feelings, want to educate about something, feel free to share, all right? So it is time for Talk the Ting with Kim. And today's topic is things to consider before moving in together. All right? So let's get right into it, because people, I'm going to tell them the topic of the week, and I'm saying, no, I forgot to tune in, because I'm sure all of us, if not most of us, has experiences so living together thing. I'm not gonna say all of us. Most people, a good amount of people have experience living together thing.
Let us get on the whole little, at least spend a night.
At least spend a night, yeah, or a weekend or something.
Yeah.
Come on, we don't have a weekend bag, right? So yeah.
Oh, wait, I know about the people.
I mean, know about the people that weekend bag,
All right.
Where you want to make it easier for carry the things and stay home.
Leave a toothbrush, watch them.
Right? So you start left little piece by little piece until you can't find certain thing. Can I come over for this?
Did I leave my shoe over there?
Let's say before you check it, man, everything over there. But it's fine. So we're going to be discussing things to consider before moving in together. So let's get right into it. Living together, cohabitation, shacking up, however you choose to refer to it, this is a topic that is frequently discussed both inside and outside of relationships. The feeling of potentially finding the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with can be exciting and energizing. However, it is important that you don't let these new emotions lead you to make rash decisions. Instead, consider the long-term effects that your decisions will bring. So, many discuss the biblical perspective that says moving in together should only be done after marriage. But then there is the perspective of convenience, as it allows couples to save money and invest in the future. It allows couples to give marriage a trial run before the actual commitment.
What, Kim?
Or
I can't let you say give marriage a trial run.
Them said them a do.
Kim, that is not give marriage is or you give marriage a trial
That the
run.
people them said them a do it for. Listen, based on my research earlier.
That's what I'm saying, get an idea of what marriage
Based on
would be
what
like.
I read earlier, they were saying, well, we can give it a try. If it don't work, we're not meant to be married. This is just the reasoning of people, right? So we're not saying it's the right thing.
Okay.
But some people are saying this is their thought process.
Okay, so test out.
They might test out living together,
Right, basically. That's what I'm saying. It can't be trial marriage. I test out living.
All right, the living together aspect
there you go.
of marriage, they're giving that a trial run, right? Right? So that's people them say them do. Right, all right. And then you have persons who just fall in love with the enticing idea of being around the person they love all the time. Whatever your perspective is, and whether you choose to move in together before or after marriage, there are things that must be considered or discussed before making such a commitment. So number one, moving in together is a very big step in a relationship. As such, the very first thing to consider is whether or not you see forever with your partner. So yeah, moving in together is a very big step in it's still, anybody else having the same issue? She's saying it's still for her, but I'm not sure if it's just for her. Guys, if it is that you're on the live, just let us know if you're having that delay where you're hearing the sound and the movement is a whole different time.
I think that might just be a connection issue, but that should fix itself shortly. So, well, just go ahead and listen, participate. It's just a slight delay. Yeah?
Oh, Drini TT says same.
Okay.
All right, so guys, would you mind if we restart the live and just, you want to try that?
All right, let's go.
All right, Elmo actually said, I'm hearing you guys clearly. So guys, give it some time. I think it will sort itself out. And Marlon Surplus Henry, thank you for joining. As I said, guys, I always love the feedback. I want you guys to share your opinion. So let me know if you agree with me or not.
Yeah.
Okay, Elmo just said, yeah, there's a delay. All right, guys, on the live, we're going to restart the live. So don't go anywhere. We're going to restart it because I don't want to go into the topics or the reasons and then we have any issues. All right, guys, yeah. My apologies, persons out there in Radio Land. We're still here with you. We just want to ensure that everybody's on the same page. We're not left on nobody, you know. Just like how, you know, when you have a class, just like, oh, we just on top of the class.
Well.
You can't left out any student, with no student left behind. And we're all students here today on Funtastic Fridays. So we just restarted the live. And for persons out there in Radio Land, we don't want to hear the answers them. So we're going to get to it. Let me see. All right. And guys on the live, if it is that it is working now, let me know. Let me know if it's improved. Must everybody run back in. Thank y'all for rejoining. So let me know if it is that it's running smoothly now. All right. So hold on. We did read that digital credit. All right. So Tori Cassell says it's good now. Elmo says seems good. All right, guys. Thank you for that. I appreciate that so much. So we'll get to it. So yeah, we're discussing things to consider before moving in together, right? So number one, moving in together is a very big step in a relationship. As such, the very first thing to consider is whether or not you see forever with your partner, right? So evaluate your relationship and be honest with yourself about your intentions and goals for you and your partner. If the relationship is just a fling, or just for a season, or it's just helping you to get over somebody else, or you just don't want to be alone, or you look smarty for to split some bills with.
Wow, Kim, wow.
Right? Or you look smarty for split bills with. We are taught the facts, you know, you have people out here who just want a cheaper cost of living. And this is one of the things that they think is the solution. So if these are your reasons, then they're not good reasons to decide to move in with someone. So as Tori said, I'm afraid of that movie in something there, you know, Jano. So yeah, more know your feedback. You agree? First of all, you have to consider who you're moving in with. Is it a long-term thing? Is it a fling? Is it a fast season? If for any of them something there, no. But if you say, all right, the person must seem like a future there, you know, then that's something that can be considered. You agree? You disagree? Guys on the live, let me know as well what you think. Because Tori don't make me know she's afraid of that movie and something there. Yeah, Marlon, big up yourself up too.
All right. Well, I think nowadays, everything has been cut down into smaller portions. So right now you have a small moving time frame. So you have like...
We don't do small movings. That's what I try to tell you don't do.
What do you mean don't do it?
What kind of small movie? Moving is a whole different level of the really...
What is the purpose of the moving?
That is what we're going to get to. But me I said though, before, the small moving thing, as I said, is not a good reason.
Suppose you have a short-term relationship.
So hold on, what you mean? As in it was serious, then things changed?
No, like
or it was just short-term from the get-go?
Right.
Then not moving together.
Why not?
Because it's not a good reason. Moving is so much bigger than we think.
Time saved.
Sir, at the same thing, I'm just list out. Yeah, as the same reason them to move in, and they're horrible reasons. What? Horrible.
Time.
Guys, if it's not top of the class.
Talk off the ear.
Right? Tori says she completely agree. But you are not top of the class, sir. I literally just said if the relationship is just for a fling, just for a season, helping you get over somebody, you don't want to be alone, or you're looking for somebody to split bills, in other words, economically efficient, then it's not a good reason. Because moving in, there's so much more dynamics that you have to consider than them little something there.
Relationships are dynamic nowadays. They're temporary relationships.
As Tori says, short-term move-ins don't make any sense at all. What kind of short... not even roommates are short-term.
I'll be over here, guys. You guys take over.
What kind of life you out there live, sir?
Well, I'm not actually speaking from my perspective. I'm just being the black sheep.
So we're saying, though, if it is that you're considering a short-term move-in, it don't make no sense. Don't bother with no short-term move-in. It is more... work than it's worth if it's a short-term movie, all
And
right?
sometimes you don't have to move in furniture in a Kim, you know. Sometimes you just bring a bag. You know?
As Marlon said, I'm old school. I was told not to shack up. You see me call it shack up from early.
There we go.
If we're serious, be serious and make it official. That's marriage.
You know, Jamaica is
And
not
as-
too serious with nothing.
And as Tori says, so I go up and down like me not have no abiding city. I'll be a nomad if that's the case. So yeah, we're not in a short-term movie. Moving in is a big step, nothing to be taken lightly. And as I said, Marlon actually supported it. Some persons see the biblical perspective and say, listen, it's not right to move in until you're married. If you're serious about a person, just wife up, husband up, and then you do the movie and thing. But then you have other persons who are saying, you know, boy, you have to know how the person is. You know, see me and come live with me. It's two
Live
different
together
things.
for a
So they
few.
want a trial run of the living part before they make the commitment there. To each their own. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do or what not to
We
do.
can't force you guys.
But me just said, moving in is not a small thing to consider. It is actually a big move, and this actually is applicable before and after marriage. Because it don't mean so because I ring on the finger make moving in easier, right?
Okay.
You still have the same things to get used to.
Of course.
So it's still advice for anybody, whether you think about before marriage or after marriage is the moving in stage. You still valid information, all right?
Yeah, got to think it out, guys.
So, as I said, number one, make sure the person that you are considering to moving in with or moving with is a forever person. Smart way you say long term, yeah?
Not forever, Kim. Long term. A forever
Y'all
person.
know what I
Kim.
mean.
Forever person.
Y'all know what I
That
mean.
sound- that
All them
sounds
love
scary.
song you talk about forever, you never tell them take out the forever part. So why when me say forever, yeah, come here tell me say take out the forever part.
We'll answer that next week.
All right, so number two, have a conversation about the goals and the whys of moving in together, as this is a big first step toward making cohabitation a reality. A lot of people move in with their partners because they want emotional nurturing or a mother or father figure to take care of them.
Wow.
Or they just don't want to be alone.
Okay, well, that one.
Others might be inclined to depend on their partner financially. Make sure you feel ready, financially and personally, to join lives with another person before making such a commitment. It is also recommended that you discuss your expectations of each other and of this new dynamic in your relationship. Does one person think moving in together mean marriage, while the other person doesn't? Would you rather be engaged first? Or are you both okay with simply living together with no further commitment? What might change after the move? For example, will you be expected to cut back on happy hour with co-workers because you get home too late and your significant other can't fall asleep without you? Will you expect your significant other to cook meals regularly? These may sound like silly issues to cover, but having these candid discussions will be extremely helpful to starting off on the right foot. So we have a whole heap of reasoning, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you say I must read from air, Marlon? All right, but now whatever it is that I should read, I won't read it.
Okay, well, he said it in the chat there. He commented something. Okay.
He's commented something. I'm not sure if I understand the beginning. Explain to me if I don't, or you can DM me the answer. 'Cause I don't know exactly what it means.
All right.
But yeah, so if it is that you're going to move in together, the second thing is you have to discuss why we're doing this. Once again, it goes back, is it for economic benefit? Is it that we just don't want to be alone, want somebody to sleep beside at night time? You have to discuss these things. You have to also set the expectation. Is it that this means this is going to lead to marriage one day, or is it that you're going to become like a common law thing without even discussing that's going to become common law? You just live together for years and it does not going to change because you're just used to it.
Kimmie,
You have to discuss these things.
I'm thinking the word common law is like a deal breaker. If you're gonna mention it, you look. Imagine you're there moving. Come on, moving with me, so you can be my common
law wife.
Any lady me see like she's happy for that. Me don't know that sound right. And I don't think a guy would be happy if a lady said that. Let me move in now so we can live like common law.
So if I'm saying, I'm not saying that you should outright be out here inviting people to be common law wife and husband. I'm just saying that we just end up and live together forever.
Live together, yeah.
Exactly. So you have to discuss this because somebody might have an expectation that if me agree for moving, it's gonna lead to the ring. But the other person might be feeling like, yo, we just want to live together. Right about now, it's easier. Just go and cook for me, you know.
So basically, Kimmie is saying, guys, you you're moving in, state your intentions. Where it's gonna go. Yeah.
Set the
what's
expectations.
what's the plan?
Why are you moving in
Yeah.
together? These are things to discuss. Ebony Love said, night peeps.
Welcome.
And then Marlon whispers, what's in the cup, Lionel?
All right. First of all, Kimmie has the question. Go ahead, talk the tea with Kim. This is not talk the tea with. This is not talk and gel with Lionel. It's talk the tea with Kim.
All right. So as we said, number one, be sure that the person you're considering to move in with is somebody that you see a long-term
Long-term.
relationship with.
Number one.
And then number two, you need to have a conversation about the goals and the whys of why you're moving in. And then also set expectations. If you enter everybody up on the same page so there's no disappointment along the way. Because once again, as I said, moving in is not something to be taken lightly, right? Number three, consider how long you have been with your partner and just how much you know about them. The perfect timing for when each couple should move in together is completely unique to them.
Oh, okay.
Research says, however, that you should wait a minimum of a year after you start dating before considering moving in together. But 2 years is a better span of time. That's what research says. But once again, to each their own, because I've heard people get married in 6 months.
What you think? I mean, getting married in 6 months don't mean you're moving yet, you know. So
No, I'm just saying, you have people that don't. You have like people say, oh, you have to date for 2-3 years before you get married.
Right.
But you have some people who don't follow that, and it works. You have people who say, boy, you have to live together only after 2-3 years.
what you think about the moving?
My personal thing, boy, is what works for you.
Kim, I would not look at
I'm
you
gonna
any
be
further.
general
I asked you to
because
answer me, Kim. I said, what do you think? Well,
I
it
can't
worked
put
for
a
you.
timeline
Give me an
because-
estimated time. What sounds reasonable for
I guess
you?
the year sounds reasonable.
Thank you. That's all.
A minimum.
Guys. You see, this is how we have to communicate with the ladies. You know, we have to get deep behind the firewall and get the right answer. So, Kim
People.
said a year.
Faithful, why Emma try to put me on the spot?
No, but
It
that's
doesn't
true.
so. But anyways,
But I would understand. I would agree. A year is a fair enough time on my part, you know, to say you're dating for a year and then you decide to move in. Not bad, you know. That's reasonable.
so that's what they're saying.
You get an
Research says
idea.
that's on average enough time
Get
for
an
you to
idea
know the good, the
whether
bad,
or
the in
not you like-
between.
So therefore, you would not break up, and you won't break up with somebody and move out or whatever. And we don't know each other less than a year. That's crazy. You're like, oh geez, I gotta get her stuff out. Like, bro, you met her 3 months ago. You know what I'm saying? So at least know the
But
person
we're not
for a
bashing
year.
nobody who did that because
No, I
guess
mean,
so. I know people who
It's
have.
a vibe. It's a vibe. But
Right.
at least you know that you've spent a year with them. So yeah, celebrate
you
your
have-
anniversary first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Marlon said diplomatic community. I love
Man.
it. I love it. I was trying to do that, but Lionel said, nope, you're not running from the question. Let me draw you right back. All right, Ebony said 1 to 2 years is reasonable. And Drini said there are steps to this moving in thing. You have to feel it out first before committing to it long term. And that's what we're saying. So research says a year minimum, you know, or they actually said 2 years, 2 years are even better. But as we said, to each their own, right?
And then you know you have the little, as them say, trial runs. So you have the spend a night, spend a weekend, a couple days.
So you start,
We're
you know,
gonna- we're
little.
gonna know how is there a section in there, Kim, where you talk about how we go into those of the steps?
No, we're not.
All right,
no,
well,
I feel that should be a topic
yeah,
because
we'll look into
people
that.
be doing that.
People be doing that
All
off the bat.
All right, so Drini says, see me and live with me are two different things, and I completely agree.
I think I've seen Drini before. Never lived with her. So yeah, 2 different things.
Sir, you not draw me into this, and not join me into this. So, as we say, minimum 1 year according to research. 2 years is better. It's a better span of time. Some people click instantly and function like a well-oiled machine early on, while others may need to work through personal and social issues before they're ready to live with their significant other. Moving in together shouldn't be something you do until you know your significant other as well as you know your best friend.
Right, that
Because sometimes as you get to know a person better, you may find that your personality may not mesh as well as you originally thought. When you live together, you will see your partner at their best and their worst.
Worse.
The absolute worst. The times when them don't even want people, you know?
Because, yeah,
them don't want adults.
That's it. You see them 24/7 basically.
Exactly. So, as I said, the timeline, there's a minimum a year, 2 years even better. But then another thing to consider, try to know your partner very well. Because like I said, if you spend a year together and all in all do are just honeymoon stages, you're not really getting to know each other.
'Cause
You
here's
need to have real conversations and learn about each other, pay attention, all them something there, you know?
All right, I know you're talking about moving in, like at what stage. I want to know at what stage or what time frame do you poop, you pass gas. Because
I like how you ask that.
because
No, I like how you ask it, like, do you know?
yes, because really and truly, because if you're gonna move it, because some people know, like them not moving
They
together
will hold
yet.
it for the rest
so
of them
them hold it out until the moving stage. Is that
I want to ask that question to the live.
is that
guys.
right to wait until you guys moving together to make them know say you do these things, or is it something you give them a little sample before
People on the live who want to know the
you
answer.
get into the moving in stage?
Lionel asked,
Yes.
when is the right time for you to make your partner know that you, flatulate?
Yes.
That you pass gas as well.
Yeah. Let go a quick one.
Is there a timeline?
Yeah.
I need to know these things. So I didn't research
it
that.
comes into moving in, because you see when you're moving and you're living together, it's that whether you want to or not, it will come.
You can't control it. You can't time.
They will catch you at
can't
one
time
point.
it.
So I'm wondering do you give them a preview, or you just hold out until you move in?
You give them a preview. I'm done with you. No, people on the live, I really want to know the answer. It's a valid question.
Yes.
I don't think we need a whole topic on this.
No.
But I'd love to know your answers to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Kimmie says, start out with it, but don't do it too extra. So you start with a little
You
bit.
give them a little one bus.
Start silent.
But she said start up. But when do you start? Is that the first date? It can't be the first
No,
date.
I don't. We know it's a fact, but I know it's the first date.
I think the first date is a red flag.
What kind of red flag? Oh, you fart?
No,
I
like
can't do this.
you couldn't hold it for one date.
You don't know what.
I don't sound
You
important.
don't know what they had for lunch. They probably had beans. Okay.
All right, but so if it happens on the first date, you should have a valuable reasonable excuse.
You know what? This went off topic.
But I know, I'm sure.
Ebony loves said last week me leave the room for do it. So I come and know that one that would have blown up.
See, very important thing.
God, that one that would have blown up in front of the fan.
That would have mashed up the relationship, and it's not something intentional, and it's something natural, but it might throw things off in the relationship.
As Kimmie said, anytime you want, it's a natural thing that the right one will handle. So the wrong one will run you until you say you smell like cesspool.
Well, it's a good well, there you go. It's a test too. As I say, the right person will, be able to work with it.
Uh-huh.
But as I think somebody said it, don't overdo it. Yeah.
So I should say, start with this now, but don't do it too extra.
Yeah, don't get too carried away. If your partner likes it, well, fine. Do the thing.
If your partner likes it, you know what? We're not sidetrack no further. Come for the conversation I get dangerous.
No, but
I get what you said.
Once you're there, you can, move on to moving in. Yeah.
As Kimmie said, it's a silly question, but it's important. That's why I stopped to
Yeah,
ask it, because it's a really important question. Because people it's like something you never get used to.
Yeah, but and then it's like at the end of the day, sometimes you don't know what's gonna come, so just do it. So, but also I think it kind of show a little vibe to say you rate them a little bit.
It shows your comfort level. It shows your comfort
not
level.
only comfort level. It shows that you rate them a little bit, all out a little bit, and give them a little time before you just drop it on them. So.
Well, so Marlon said, moving in before marriage has its merit though. Come from same old school, and he believes say if you're serious, then just be serious on marriage. But him said moving in before marriage has its merits though. She need to know if I have cheesy foot.
Right.
If I'm a morning pooper.
Right.
If I sing loud in the shower. I know him say if me and some other stuff.
All right. But
some stuff to consider.
That now comes in when that's why I say you can give them the little 2 days, the little 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
If the person staying at your place for 2-3 days, I don't know if them have cheesy foot. What kind of life?
What them foot no cheesy upon them days there?
No.
You have people who know how to cover. Listen.
Then that person is not meant for you.
Guys, that cheesy foot something to do. That cheesy foot something to do. Man, tell you to do something about it.
Well, I think things can be done, so that is not so crazy.
No, I'm just saying because sometimes you yourself won't know.
Right.
Because I remember one time being in an environment, not at anybody's home or anything,
right,
but somebody felt confident enough to take off her shoes.
Right.
And may I tell you, nobody said it to her, but it was the talk of the area. Everybody around was like, yeah, and then of course one person in the place was barefooted, and they were all just talking about her, and I didn't like it. So yeah, if you guys know somebody who has an issue like this, or so it's something nothing to feel ashamed about, you can do something something about it. And something you're born with.
I think we touched a topic like that in our discussions previously. You know, how do we break certain rules and news to our partners?
The person.
We can look into that again, because these things now, if you're doing this to your partner now and your partner have cheesy foot, at some point, where do you tell them? Because, you know, if they don't tell you off the bat, say, hey, you know, like some people say, yo, careful, you know, my foot cheesy.
We're sidetracked. We have
no,
more
Kim, these
topic.
are...
Yes, but I don't want to, I want to get the information
these are things that come up when you're moving in with
Fair
somebody.
enough.
Oh.
Fair enough, but I don't want to get too far sidetracked.
All right.
So those are things to consider. Kimmie said it's the same as using the restroom at the same time period. That's true. I just people getting used to you using, let's say your partner showering, and you just come in and use the toilet.
That's deep
some
marriage
persons
right
can't get used to it. Some people will, I mean, without a doubt, do have no issues. That's between you and the person. And make us say, we're not married, not a soul women to live with for at least a year. Right? And then Kimmie said, don't be afraid to tell about the faults also, and be an adult and accept it. It's for better.
That is the important part. Don't be afraid to talk to your partner. You have ways to do it, but talk to your partner.
But Ebony say certain things I think will kill the chemistry, and I think that's also people's fear.
There we go.
That, okay, if I do these things, which are natural, them not gonna like me as much, or them
timing is key.
And guess what? That doesn't mean the person is not the right one. That's literally what it means.
Not only that, Kim, as I said, timing is key. Some things too early.
And that too. All right, so we're only at number 4 because the discussion is interesting and I love the feedback I'm getting. So number 4, things to consider when moving in. You need to talk about chores and money. So chores and money are major fight triggers in a relationship, and it's important to hash out the details before moving day. Who will do the laundry, or will you each do your own? Who's in charge of cooking and doing dishes? Who takes out the trash? This may sound trivial and maybe even a bit immature, but you'll be surprised just how much something as simple as chores can affect a relationship.
I just tell you, say you mash up the people in a relationship, Kim.
Simple something. Guess what? You see when you're moving together, it's not the big things, you know. It's the small things you wanna argue about. The socks over there, so you know, lock off the TV at night time.
Spread the bed.
Every light on at the house at night
You never
time.
clean the bathroom yet.
Yeah, if you don't worry about the big things, it's not the big things when you're moving together. At the little something of them will eventually become a little annoyance and constant arguments, and then
Well, Kimmie, we're gonna figure out what's more happening when we talk about considers things before moving in. We'll be right back after the break. Talk the thing with Kim.